How you think while trading will determine the amount of money you make. So if you are someone that knows your thinking is causing you to overtrade, hesitate, chase losses and miss trades, I'd like to show you how to think like a profitable trader so you can not only fix these problems in your trading, but also improve your overall performance in the markets, which is going to help you to get funded, make consistent payouts and scale your trading income. So the question is, how do you think like a profitable trader? That's what I'm going to be answering in this video. So the first thing you need to understand when learning how to think like a profitable trader is that profitable trading is a performance activity, similar to football, tennis, or tightrope walking. The only difference is, however, trading requires mental skills, not physical. By the way, if you'd like my help with trading more profitably, getting funded and making consistent payouts, check out the link in the description. Just like these examples you can see here, football, tennis, tightrope walking, they're a performance activity, but they are physical. Trading is the same, but like I said, it requires mental skills, not physical skills. So what does this actually mean for you as a trader? Well, because trading is a performance activity, the results you get, so the money you make or lose, is determined by the quality of your decision making. You are not rewarded based on the amount of hours you work, but instead, you are paid based on how you think and then act while trading. Trading isn't a normal job. Unlike a 9 to 5, again, nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but unlike a 9 to 5 job where you are paid based on the amount of hours you put in, trading is the opposite. Trading is a performance activity. You are paid based on how you think and how you perform in the markets, and how you perform is determined by how you think. So this then can only mean one thing. The results you want from trading, being able to trade profitably, request consistent payouts from prop firms, requires that you learn how to think properly while trading. But learning how to think properly, or by learning how to think properly, you'll put yourself in the position to perform at a high level and consistently take money out of the markets. Profitable trading requires that you learn how to think properly. So, the first step to thinking properly. First of all, I'd like you to think about this question. So take a look at your screen. Who do you think is more likely to perform better in the markets? Trader A or Trader B? So Trader A here is focused on the outcome of all their trades and is becoming mentally exhausted. All they can think about is the outcome. They're trying to make money. They are thinking about the money. Okay, they're thinking about their outcome as I've just said there, and they're becoming mentally frustrated. And then on the other side, we have Trader B. Trader B is focused on following their process to the best of their ability and is mentally calmer. They're not stressed out. Their emotions aren't becoming volatile. So pause for a minute. Who do you think, what trader, Trader A or Trader B, who do you think is more likely to perform better in the markets? Shifting your focus to the process. So it should be clear, Trader B is more likely to perform at a higher level and able to consistently trade profitably. Why? Because Trader B is process orientated. This results in a more stable and emotionally controlled mindset, allowing them to act in a way that serves their goals. Think process over profits. So going back to these performance activities, they would not be able to succeed at their profession if they were only focused on the end result, because it would interfere with their execution. So you can begin to see here how you need to be thinking to become a profitable trader, how profitable traders think, how high performers think. They are process orientated. They're not thinking about the outcome. Instead, they rely on the process, as I've just said, and the training they have gone through, which when focused on will give them their desired results. So to give you an example, if you are, let's say your goal is to make $5,000 in 1 month trading, that's an outcome focused goal. First of all, we can't control how the markets are going to move and perform and whether we're going to get setups within that month. And secondly, by being outcome focused, you're going to hinder your performance. It's going to block you from being able to follow your process to the best of your ability, which we're going to be talking about more later on in this video. So the root cause of trading errors, which I briefly spoke about there. So by failing to shift your focus over to the process and constantly thinking about the outcome of your trades or the trading day or the outcome focused goals that you are working towards, by constantly thinking about these while trading, it's the main reason why yourself and many traders are making mistakes, are going on tilt, and are consistently losing money. Outcome focused thinking destroys your ability to be present in the moment and follow your rules. Process that you have carefully put together. All logic goes out the window. So let me just repeat that again. Outcome focused thinking destroys your ability to be present in the moment and follow your rules, your process that you have carefully put together. All logic goes out the window. So when you are thinking about the outcome, when all you are focused on is the goals and the monetary goals that you want from trading, which is good, you need to have goals in the direction to aim towards. All that's going to happen though is it's going to hinder your performance. It's going to stop you from being able to execute and follow your process that you have laid out for yourself. And as we said in the beginning, trading is a performance activity. You are paid based on your performance and how you think. And if all you are thinking about is the outcome and how much money you want to be making, you're not going to be able to perform as well as you need to get the desired results that you want. It's conflicting. So you need to become process orientated. From the examples I've gone through, you should now understand that the first step in being able to think like a profitable trader is to shift your focus entirely over to the process. This is why it is extremely important to ensure that you have fully developed your trading plan and strategy clearly laid out in writing. You do not want to be trading your system or have your process based off memory. You need to make sure you have your system, your process clearly written out, step by step and in order. Becoming process orientated is a lot harder when you don't actually have a process to follow. So reflect on your own trading. If your process isn't clear, it's going to become very hard to shift your focus to being process orientated when you haven't actually got a structured process to follow. So you need to ensure that you have a well-structured, clearly laid out plan that you can follow in the markets consistently. This is what's going to help you to become process orientated, which is going to help you to get the results you want from trading. A game of coin flip. So to illustrate my next lesson in thinking like a profitable trader, I'd like you to just pause this video and grab a two-sided coin and flip it 20 times. Heads equals -1R and tails equals +2R. Write down the results you get. So assuming you've paused the video and you flipped the coin 20 times and you have written it down, here's the results I got. Okay? Here's the results I got when flipping a coin 20 times. So you can see the results I got there, completely random. Flipped the coin 20 times, tails was +2R, heads was -1R. Accepting the law of probabilities. When doing the coin flip exercise, you will have noticed that you're thinking, or you are not thinking, sorry, about the outcome of any single flip. You accept that it's completely random. That's the law of probabilities at work. There is a chance it could land on either heads or tails. There's a probability it could have landed in our favor of tails +2R, or there's a probability that it could have landed not in our favor, -1R, which was heads. Placing a trade follows the exact same law, which means in order to think like a profitable trader, you need to adopt the same mindset you had while flipping a coin. That's why it's important that you actually do this coin flip exercise. Notice how when you're flipping each flip, you're not thinking about the outcome, you're just letting the probabilities play out. You're letting the numbers play out. You're not concerned about the outcome of each coin flip. That way of thinking is the exact same way you need to be thinking when placing a trade and while trading. By the way, quickly, again, if you would like my help with all of this, improving your performance in the markets so you can become more profitable and start to scale your trading income, do check out the link in the description. Expect random outcomes. When flipping a coin 20 times, you're not expecting any particular outcome because it's completely random and it's completely out of your control. You know when you flip that coin, there's no need to expect anything. You know that the truth is it's completely random and of course out of your control. And when you place a trade, the outcome is also out of your control. So I'm trying to give you an example here and pair the two, how we're flipping that coin, the coin flip exercise, and with the randomness of each coin flip, that act of you flipping that coin, you know when you flip that coin, it's random. The outcome you're going to get, heads or tails, is completely random. That same way of thinking, that acceptance of probabilities and randomness, it's the exact same way you need to be thinking while trading. And if you can do it, if you can think like that while flipping a coin, it means you can also think like that while trading. So although the outcome is random, again, looking at the results here, there's consistency in large enough sample sizes. Wanting stops what you want. So think of it this way. If you were to try and control the outcome of each coin flip, you would end up flipping the coin differently. You wouldn't follow your usual process. Flipping the coin differently, trading a way that's outcome focused. So trying to flip the coin differently, I'm relating that to trying to trade in a way that's outcome orientated. Because you want a set result, it will compromise your ability to perform well and execute properly. So let's say you're trying to flip that coin and you're trying to control the outcome. What I'm trying to get across here, the point I'm trying to make here is, if you're flipping that coin, expecting a certain outcome, you might flip it differently. You might angle it. You might not give as much power to it to try and get the result that you want. Tails in this example, plus 2R. And when you're trading and you're wanting a certain outcome, the same way we're flipping that coin, you're going to trade differently. You're not going to think properly, and it's going to hinder your performance and execution and the process that you have laid out. And even worse, when you don't get the outcome you were expecting, this is when emotions become volatile and trading errors are made. So, this is what you also need to understand. The money is made in numbers. Despite each individual trade having a complete random outcome that is not in your control, it's vital to understand that the money in trading is made from a series of trades executed with an edge. So although each coin flip, each trade you take is completely random, over a series of trades, over a large enough sample size of trades, assuming that you have an edge, that's where you'll make the money. That's why profitable trading requires that you think and trade in sample sizes. Let the numbers do the work. My results from flipping a coin 20 times illustrates this point perfectly. Each flip is a trade idea being tested, which has a random outcome. But when the probabilities land in our favor, because of our edge, and over a large enough sample size, we are able to profit. So again, looking at the example, the data from flipping my coin 20 times, this example demonstrates a 40% win rate, but usually our edge, our win rate with a coin flip is around 50-50. Some say 51%, 49%, but it's around a 50% probability. And then this is a 1 to 2R winning trade. So we know that with a 50% win rate and a 1 to 2R, we are able to profit, okay? We know that over a large enough sample size, we will end up in profit. And if you look on your screen here, you can see your strategy's probability will depend on your risk to reward ratio and win rate. This is what you need to identify and understand with your own system. What does your average winning trade need to earn compared to your win rate? And that will determine the profitability of your strategy. Probabilities and process. Because you were not thinking about the outcome when doing the coin flip exercise, you are able to freely perform the activity to the best of your ability. This allowed you to flip each coin properly and let the numbers play out, which as a result gave you the end outcome you were looking for. This is no different to the professionals we spoke about in the beginning. They're not focused on trying to win that tennis match. They're not focused on that tightrope walker. It's not focused on getting to the end. He's focused on performing, walking, following his process, which is going to get the results you want or they want. And in trading, it's the exact same. You're focusing on your process, which is going to give you the results that you want in trading. A probabilistic mindset. Thinking in probabilities while trading is what's going to allow you to flow in and out of trades freely. When you accept that there's a random outcome with each trade you take, the outcome isn't a reflection of who you are, by the way, because it's random, it becomes a lot easier to remain process focused and execute according to your plan. Put in the reps. So how do you actually get better at being process orientated and thinking in probabilities? You get better by showing up each trading day and actively directing your thoughts and actions towards your process. You make it a habit. You constantly remind yourself of the truth that the outcome of each trade is random. You put in the reps, you show up every day and constantly direct your thoughts to the truth that trading is completely random. Each trade has a random outcome, and constantly think and focus on your process. Conclusion. So, thinking like a profitable trader requires that you do two things. To summarize what we've gone through today, shift your focus towards your process and forget about the outcome, accept the law of probabilities and expect a random outcome with each individual trade. I hope this video has helped, and I will see you in the next one.